I want to talk about something that's been brought up a couple of times in the comments, and that is whether Trump is pondering invoking the Insurrection Act on April 20th. It turns out that that is not exactly true. However, I do not mean that in a good way. Here's what's going on. Back on January 20th, Trump signed an executive order called Declaring a National Emergency at the Southern Border of the United States. Within that executive order is Section 6 Reporting Requirement. Section 6B reads, within 90 days of the date of this proclamation, the Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of Homeland Security shall submit a joint report to the President about the conditions at the southern border of the United States and any recommendations regarding additional actions that may be necessary to obtain complete operational control of the southern border, including whether to invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807. Now, as I mentioned, Trump signed this on January 20th, his first day in office, and 90 days later would be April 20th. However, if we read that a bit closer, the 90 days date refers to when he must receive the report about the conditions at the southern border and recommendations. So he might already have that report today and is deciding today whether to do this. The Insurrection Act is outlined in a series of statutes under Title 10 of the U.S. States Code, and they grant the president extraordinary power, including the ability to use the military to put down a rebellion at the federal or state level. The obvious concern here is that we're dealing with a president who has already pushed the boundaries on what executive power is, which the Insurrection Act would give him more of, and he would also be backed up by the military. The fact that this has not received more coverage is undoubtedly due to the fact that there has been so much craziness over the first 7 weeks of Trump's second term. The media can barely cover one stunning action or statement by Trump before the next day he does it all over again about something else. So I just want to do this short video to say that the April 20th date about the Insurrection Act isn't exactly true. It actually could be much sooner than that. He might already have received the report from Pete Hegseth and Kristi Noem and could right now be deciding whether to declare that act. The bottom line is that Donald Trump is just looking for an excuse to invoke the Insurrection Act. And I wouldn't be surprised if he found that excuse in this report that he might already have in his hands.